What's up, you data friends? It's Yanis here and welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to use the Transformers library by Hugging Face to test two local models. We are going to test Google's BERT and T5. And the way we are going to test these models is by building this Streamlit app that we get to upload a PDF file, and then we ask the model to summarize the PDF file, and also we are going to pass questions into the model and see how it performs. At the end, we are also going to compare these local models we are going to create in this video versus the API OpenAI model we created on the last video and see the difference in the performance. And before we jump into this video, let me just say that if you're new to my channel and you're passionate about data science, then please consider liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and enable notifications for my future videos. Right, starting with the first point we have, which is some context around the library we are going to use. Transformers is a library provided by Hugging Face, and if we go over in their website over here, we can see all these models they have over here, and they also categorize them by a specific task you may want to run. For example, if you want the image to text models, you can click on it and you can download and use any of these models. However, for our video, we are going to use document question answering models, and more specifically, we are going to use BERT and T5 from Google. Now, as I was saying before, this library allows you to download the models locally on your own PC, on your infrastructure, and use your own GPU and CPU to run the model. In general, when you are going to run a model, I would say you have two options. You either use these local models from Transformers library, or you are using models via their APIs, like our previous video that we have used the OpenAI API to call Chat GPT model on our data. Right, going back, some key considerations when choosing between the Transformers library, which is the local models, over the API models. In terms of customization, I would say it's easier to customize or fine-tune a local model. However, if you don't need much customization, you can use the API models. Personally, I find the API models to be much stronger here, even with customized tasks, but that's just me. In terms of infrastructure, again, I would prefer the API models because I don't have to manage my local infrastructure, like how much GPU or CPU I need per specific task. In terms of scalability, again, I think it's easier to scale with API just because you will need to manage scaling yourself if you go with local models. In terms of budget, I would say it's lower cost to use the Transformers library if you're testing stuff or if you're running smaller models locally. But if you have more enterprise solutions, then you definitely need to go with API models. And then in terms of data privacy, I would say Transformers library is best because you run the data locally, so you don't send anything on the API versus the API models that you're sending the data to an API. In summary, I would say Transformers library is ideal when you want complete control over your model, when you want the ability to fine-tune, and when you want to work with sensitive data or offline tasks. And API calling models is ideal if you want an easy integration and cutting-edge models. I would say they perform a lot better if you want scalability for more enterprise solutions, and if you are okay with the API cost, because these API models, they cost a lot more. Right, moving on to the libraries, please pip install any of these libraries that you don't currently have. So this is going to be the PDF Plumber, Streamlit, Upgrade Your Plotly, the PyMU PDF, Transformers, Torch, TensorFlow, Centerpiece, and TF Keras. Then we are going to load our libraries. So this is the PDF Plumber, operating system, feeds, and then from Transformers, import the T5 tokenizer, the T5 for conditional generation, the BERT tokenizer, the BERT for question answering, and also pipeline. Right, our first task now is to load the PDF in. So I have used a random PDF, it's over here from the web. It's the same PDF as we've used in our last video. And what we need to do now is to create a function that loads the PDF in Python and then extracts all the text. So what I'm doing here is that I'm creating this function that is called extract text from PDF, and I only pass the path of the file. And then what this does is that it opens the file path, so the actual file, it sets the text to be empty, this is how it starts, and then it goes from all the pages, from page number in page, and then I'm using the length of the document, so the number of pages. Here it starts with the first page number and it loads the page, and here it extracts the text from this page, and then it goes to the next page, it extracts the text, and then it adds the text into the previous text, and in return we have the actual text. So if we run this quickly and then we run our file, which is this file over here, you can see that it loaded all the text from that PDF file. Right, moving on, we need to use Google's T5 model on this text we have just generated over here. To do this, I went over the documentations over here, which is in Hugging Face for T5. I have copied the code across over here and adjusted the code to fit my needs. So first, we need to initialize the tokenizer, and we are going to use the T5-small T5 model. Then we need to initialize the actual model over here, and we are using the same T5-small model. Then we need to create this function called summarize text, where we pass this text we have loaded over here. And first, we need to start by passing the text into the T5 tokenizer so we can encode the text. Then we take these inputs and we pass them into the T5 model so we can generate outputs. And then we need to pass these outputs back into the tokenizer, but this time we are not encoding, we are decoding, so we get our results, our summary. And if I run this quickly, and then I run the function, which is basically summarize the text, that's what it says. So if I run it quickly, it should go over this text over here and create a summary. There we go. So if we see the summary over here, it says the year ahead, 10 crypto predictions for 2024, the year ahead. Okay, this is not a very good summary. So this is what I was saying before, that the performance of these local models are not that great. If we check the summary from the previous video that we are using OpenAI's API, you could see a much better summary on this same PDF. But we are going to move on and we are going to compare these models at the end. Right, moving on, we need to create our next function, which is basically going to be for question answering on our text. So we are starting by creating this pipeline called QA pipeline. We need this pipeline for question answering, which is basically, if I go over in Hugging Face, in natural language processing is a question answering pipeline. In our models, we are going to use the BERT large uncased, and in the tokenizer, we are going to use the same. Then we are creating this function called answer question. We are passing the question and then we are passing the context. The context is going to be this text over here. Then we are saying results equals, and we are calling this pipeline over here. We are passing the question as the question, and we are passing the context as the context. And we are returning the answer. And now we need to run this. And to test it, we are going to pass two example questions. So the first question says, what is the main topic of the document? And the second question is, who are the key people mentioned? So what I'm saying here is that for question in question, so it's going to go through all the questions I have in questions. It's going to call this answer question function we created over here into answer, and it's going to print both the question and then the answer. So if I run this, you can see it's taking some time, and this is because it's using local resources. So if you see over here, my CPU spiked and also my memory is on 72%. But I'm going to close this now, and then we are waiting to see the performance or the answers. There you go, we finished with the first question. So what is the main topic of the document? And the answer is by the reader as research or. So as you can see, it did not really answer this question at all. It returned some random stuff. There we go, we have the second question now. So who are the key people mentioned? And the answer is 2023 revenue is annualized. As you can see, terrible performance from BERT over here. Now, I'm sure if we go through the documentations of BERT and T5, we will be able to improve the results if we fine-tune the model. However, I don't have any knowledge on how to do that. I just want to use out-of-the-box stuff. So based on what I can see, it doesn't perform well at all. These two local models I have tested out of the box. Probably if we fine-tune them, maybe they're going to do much better. But the results are not comparable with the previous video, at least, that we've used the OpenAI API to call the model on the same PDF. Now, moving forward, we are still going to create the Streamlit app so we can compare them together. The next thing I'm doing over here is that I'm basically putting all the code together. So I copied and pasted the libraries we have at the top. I've copied and pasted the T5 tokenizer for summarization, how we have initialized the BERT model. I've copied the extract text from PDF functions we created above, the summarize text function we created above, and also the answer questions functions we created above. Down here, I'm adding the path to our PDF, and here I am calling the extract text from PDF function on the path, and I'm storing the text in the text, and here I'm running our summarize text on this text as I have shown before, and I'm storing it into summary, and then I'm printing the summary. Over here I have the two example questions, and here I am answering the questions. So what I did over here is that I have basically copied all the code we created above into one cell. And the reason I did this is so I can have everything in one cell and then create my Streamlit app. Because you're going to need everything to be in one cell, and we are going to convert this into a .py file to run the Streamlit app. So the next step now is to copy all of these, paste it down here, and also add the Streamlit app code. So what's different now is that I have added the Streamlit app title over here. Then I created an uploader. So st.file uploader is basically, if I open the app, which is over here, not this one over here, these choose a PDF file, browse files. This is the file uploader we have over here, choose a PDF file. Then if we do upload a PDF, so if there is data, then we are going to run this first function, which is basically extracting the text from the PDF and then storing it into text. This is going to limit the characters we display. So basically over here, we are displaying the text, as you can see, and that code limits the characters we are going to display. Then we are adding this subheader over here called extracted text, which is basically this extracted text. And then we also print the text over here, which is the displayed text over here. So those are the 500 characters. Then we are adding a button called summarize, which is basically this button over here. And this button is basically calling our summarize function, and then it's printing our summary based on this function over here. So if I come back, you can see summary and then the print of the summary. Next, we are adding the answering questions, and this is going to be a text input, not a button. So st.text input, enter your question about the PDF, which is basically enter your question about the PDF. Over here, we are asking our questions, and then we are basically printing the answer, which is basically our second function called answer question. And then if I run this quickly, this is going to say to us that in order to visualize this, we need to run the following. However, I couldn't get this to work, so I'm using Visual Studio Code to deploy our Streamlit app. To do this now, we need to follow these steps. We need to create a new file, and this is going to be a Python file, a .py file over here. We are going to copy and paste all this code we have just created. So I'm copying this, pasting it over here. I know that we are also missing the picture because as you can see over here, we have a picture. So to do this, we need to install this library called image, and we also need to print that picture. So let me copy and paste the code quickly. over here, and it's right under, is it under or over the title? So where is the title? There we go, over here. So image.open AI peak 4, which is basically, if I show you, if I come over here, AI peak 4, there we go, it's over here. And then the next piece of code is basically printing the image so we can see the image. I also want to change the title because I have changed the title and I didn't notice. So the title, I'm just going to copy the code, which is over here. Give me a sec. This is my new title, and then this is my new title over here, Transformers library. Then I'm going to name this as up2 and then rename. Then I am going to copy this file from where it was created. So usually it's created under your users. For me, it's under users and then my surname. So I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it in the location that I want to, where everything else is. Over here, up2. Then I'm going to launch Visual Studio Code. I already have it open, and I'm going to open this app, which is up2. Oh, it's empty because we haven't clicked save. Anyway, it's okay. I'll just copy and paste the code in. So let me show you. What we should have done is click File, Save, Save All, and then copy paste. But I haven't done that. It's okay. I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to come into Visual Studio and then I'm going to paste it into the app.py file. There we go. I'm going to try and run it, see if it works. Let me see to view this. Yeah, that's correct. What we need to do now is that, let me see. Yeah, that's fine. We need to click over here, new command prompt, and here we need to type in Streamlit run up2. This is up2. You can see .py and then click run. This is going to open our app over here. It's loading. I'm going to put it next to the other one that I already have open. This is app1. This is app2. Still loading. There we go. It loaded. It's exactly the same as this one up until now. Let's try and upload a file. So this is the same file as before. There we go, it extracted the text. As you can see, this one has the limit of 500 characters. I think this app, I do not have the limit. There you go, it's all the characters. If I go back into our code, so I can show you, the app.py does not have the limit, but the app2, it has the limit over here. By the way, I'm going to have this code on my GitHub repository, so you can download it and use it as you want, experiment yourself. Let's go back and test the summary now. So if I click on summary, there we go, we get the summary. It says Bitcoin with trading. Oh, that's a bit better summary. I mean, it's not the best summary, but it's not as bad as this summary we got over here. Oh no, this summary is the same, but the individual summary, where is it? The individual summary is actually worse. I don't know why we get different summaries. Anyway, let's test the question. So let's give a question. What are the main predictions of this document, of this text? I'm going to say predictions. There we go. Click run. This is taking long because it's running locally versus the API chatbot we created in the previous video, which was pretty much instant. We are going to compare them. Let's see the answer first. Loading, loading, loading. Oh my god, it takes ages. There we go, we got the answer. .nfts are also subject to, oh, it's terrible. You can see that it doesn't do any good job in either summarizing or asking question on the text. Let's try a different text. Let's try a different PDF. So let's do browse and then let's choose this PDF. There we go, we have the second PDF. Click summarize. Loading, 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 it takes ages. I'm gonna cut the in-betweens because it takes like, I don't know, 30-40 seconds. There we go, we have a summary. The Modern Olympic Games introduction, that's a very weird introduction, is the world's greatest sports. The games I have, this is a very average summary, I would say. Now I would say we should compare them. These two local models versus the Chat GPT 3.5 model we created on the previous video. So I'm just going to put them next to each other. These are the two. I'm going to select the same file on this one, which is the Modern Olympic Games. And then let's see the summary of this one. There we go. We loaded the file, then click on Summarize Text. There we go. Let's compare the summaries. As you can see, the text has the characteristics of the Modern Olympic Games, including history, sports, athletes. Yeah, this is a way better summary than this summary over here. And then if we ask question, let's do write an email with the main 3 points, and then click enter, and we're going to do the same on this one over here. So write an email with the main 3 points, and then get answer. We actually have to click on get answer, otherwise it doesn't work with enter. Running and then running. There we go. We have the email from the Chat GPT. As you can see, a very well structured email. It makes sense. Wow, this is unbelievable. The Chat GPT one. This one is still running. I think it's going to run for some time. I'm going to cut the in between again so you don't have to wait. There we go. It finished. It says David Miller, Edinburgh. Okay, I can't even write an email. This is terrible again. I don't think we should keep comparing them. Obviously, the API model does a lot better, and it's because of all the reasons we explained at the beginning of the video. However, I think it's still good to know how to create a local model in case you want to use something a lot more secure, let's say, or a lot more customizable versus using the API models. Right, in the next video, I'm going to test Google's Gemini model from the API. That's an amazing model, by the way. I've already tested it and it does amazing. I think we're going to have fun comparing it with ChatGPT. And then in the video after that, we are going to compare Facebook's Llama model, which is also an amazing model. Right, so this is it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed this video and you've gained enough value out of this video. If you feel like you did, please click that like button, subscribe to my channel, and enable notifications for my future videos. I'm going to upload all the code in my GitHub repository so you can download these models and test them yourself. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm going to see you in the next video.